What's up, big time gang? Welcome back to another battery change video. Now, as you see, this one is my first auto chrono, my first auto Magnum, but this is a Swiss made SELLITA SW500 automatic movement. And you're saying, if it's an automatic, why are we doing a battery change video? This little one here, the secondary movement, is dead. So that's bothered me since I got it. I got this watch used. The battery was already dead in the secondary movement, and we're gonna fix that today. So if you're interested in seeing how to change this little movement's battery, then stay tuned for this video. And obviously we're not gonna be touching this one because this is an automatic, and all I need to do is wind it or wear it, and it starts to tick on its own. Obviously it's not ticking right now, but I have not wound it or wore it recently. So anyway, let's get into this. If you're interested, please stay tuned. All right. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're new to the channel and this is the first or second video you're watching of mine, please consider subscribing. I've got a lot of videos on battery changes, show and tells, all watch related. Definitely over 300 videos out on YouTube. I post 3 to 4 videos a week, and I appreciate all the support I can get. So we're going to be taking these 4 screws out of this secondary movement to get this off of this case. So I said it in the last battery change video I did, but I'll say it again. These 2 movements are completely separate, and you'll see that here in a moment. They are not connected, and this one is not an auto. This is a quartz. I've had people ask me that before, whether the 2 movements were connected, and no, they're not. They're completely 2 separate movements. It's completely like a separate watch on a watch. This has its own case back. I know, you know, even though it doesn't really make sense to somebody that's a watchmaker, the thought process of them being connected is something that a lot of us have thought. So here's the wall. You know, there is no connection. This is the end of the case for this movement, and then this one just simply screws onto the watch to make it the secondary movement. So I'm going to take the screws out of this because I do not want to lose them. So we're going to slide those over, and before we put it back on the watch, we will definitely put them back in the watch and back in the holes. So here's the movement, here's the case back. Nice fingerprints for me. I'm not wearing gloves, don't have a heart attack over that. I work better with my bare hands than I do with gloves on, so that's how I roll. I tried the whole glove thing, but it's just a pain in the butt for me. So these are just needle nose pliers with a rag or a cloth wrapped around it. And then we're going to take this screw back, case back remover, all the way to the smallest setting it'll go, and put it on here and turn. Now it doesn't take a lot of pressure because this is really very small, and you have a lot of leverage with such a big case back opener. And there we go. I can hand loosen it now, and now it's off. All right, so now get this plastic off. And now we've got this teeny tiny movement with one little screw right there that we need to loosen up and then take out, move over, and then take that battery out. So this is the Ronda 1042 movement. and it uses the RENATA 395 or 335 battery. Now I know it looks like I'm fumbling, but lining up this screwdriver tip that is so small, 0.5 millimeter, it's very hard to even tell which way the screwdriver tip is facing. So that makes it a little difficult for me to line it up. I'm trying to gently remove this cover without making the screw fall out of it. There we go. So it was out of the way, and when I picked it up, it moved back in the way. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna remove this battery. Open up a new battery. Before I do that, I'll show you. RENATA 335 SR51 2SW. Now, I've been asked multiple times why I use RENATA. RENATA is a battery that most Invictas come with. And RENATA is a Swiss made battery, so if you're using it on a Swiss movement, to me it just makes sense. Now, I'm not no battery expert. I don't know which battery is better. I don't know if an Energizer is the same quality as a RENATA, but I go with what makes sense to me, and using the same battery that's already in the movement makes perfect sense to me. Okay, we're back and secured. Plastic goes back on around the crown stem. That's back in. Case back now goes back on. Okay, that's as tight as I can get it with the pick. Now we're going to hit it with the needle nose and the case back opener. So put my cloth over the needle nose not to scratch the movement. Okay, I got a nice secure grip on it. Okay, it's nice and tight. Now we're going to put the screws back in. One, two, three, and the fourth. Okay. Now crown facing up. Drop it back on the case. And now I always like to start the top right screw. There we go. I didn't tighten it down too much. Caddy corner to the bottom left screw. Okay. Top left. Okay. Bottom right. Okay. Now we're going to repeat the pattern. Make sure all of them are nice and snug. Okay. And there you have it. So now we're going to set it. So right now it is 7:46. Pull the crown up, which is hard to do when you don't have fingernails. And then we're going to get it to 7:45. I know this is painstaking to watch, but it has to be done. This little crown is so small, so hard for me to even get a grip on it to turn it. Okay, we're at 7 o'clock. And now we're gonna go to like 7:47, 7:48, because it's been a second. And there we go. Now there's no sweeping second hand or any kind of second hand to be able to tell whether this battery is ticking or not. So if you're curious if yours is actually dead, the best thing to do is set it like at, let's say 6:30 or 6 o'clock. And then, you know, come back to it in 10 minutes and see if it moved. If it didn't move, obviously it's dead. If it is working, if you set it at 6 o'clock and you come back 10 minutes later, it should be at 6:10. So that's how I tell if these are dead or not. So anyway, we're back up and running. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Have a great day. God bless.